Hi guys! Today I am making some loaded potato skins. I had a bunch of ingredients just on hand, so I decided this would be an easy way to just to cook up some things that I already had. And so I know traditionally loaded potato skins are going to have bits of bacon, but bacon's not a big favorite of mine. So I am using some squash, just to give it a little bit different texture, so it's not just creamy potatoes. And this squash I found at work. Somebody was getting rid of some of their beautiful garden bounty, and I thought this would definitely be something really beautiful and tasty that I could certainly incorporate into just about anything. So this is where this particular squash came from. So I was looking for a new recipe in one of my cookbooks, and I came across potato skins. I love potatoes, but not, like I said, not a big fan of the bacon, and this particular recipe really didn't float my boat quite yet, but I thought this would be something that I could definitely modify and make it into something vegetarian that I would enjoy eating. But the basic part of the recipe was really helpful. How to prepare the potatoes and how much to cook them. So the potatoes that I'm using are Idaho yellow potatoes. And for the cooking, I just got out my cast iron muffin tins. So I've washed and scrubbed the potatoes and pierced them with a fork. And I popped them in the oven, 425, for about 40 minutes or so. And I just flipped them over on the other side after they were done cooking, just to show you how they cook up. They're not burnt at all. They did really well in the cast iron. So again, this is the squash that I'm using for the recipe. And this squash is actually very large. I would say this is like 3 times as large as what I would usually find in a grocery store. So I decided just to use half of it. And what I'm doing is just peeling the outside of it. The outside of a squash, if you've never cooked with squash before, is a little bit tougher than the inside. So definitely for a recipe like that, you wanna peel off the exterior portion of it, and then the interior is a lot softer and easier to work with. And so definitely get out your peeler or your knife and get rid of some of that extra outside peelings. And then what you are left with is a lot easier to cut up. So after your potatoes have already been cooked, now is the time to cut them lengthwise and scoop out the middle of the potatoes. So after you cook them, the potatoes are going to be hot for a long time. I actually let them cool for about 2 or 3 hours, just so I didn't have to deal with any steaming hot potatoes, because they do stay warm in their peelings for a long time. So I'm just scooping out the soft portions of the potato. I'm trying to be really careful, so the potato skins themselves are still intact. And after I've got all the potatoes scooped out, I'm adding in some ghee. You can use butter or you can use some oil, but ghee is one of my favorites. Sometimes I alternate between ghee and olive oil, but I just thought this would be kind of a fun recipe to break out some ghee. And if you've never heard of ghee before, it's basically just clarified butter. So it's just a different way of producing butter. And after it was cooking for a while, I decided that it wasn't quite moist. It was very dry. So I'm adding about a cup of water, just to make the concoction just easier to work with and a little bit creamier. So it took about 30 minutes for the potatoes and the squash to be a little bit cooked, and now I'm adding in some garlic. That's probably about a teaspoon of garlic and some pepper and a little bit of salt. So I didn't completely cook down the squash. As you can see, the cubes of squash are still visible. I wanted them to be slightly crunchy, just to give them a little bit of a different texture than the potatoes. And this is some fresh parsley. To me, parsley doesn't have a whole lot of flavor to it. It's more about color. Just some bits of green, just to give the eyes something else to look at other than just yellow. So now I'm just adding this mixture to the potato skins. And I didn't put any kind of oil in the cast iron tins at all. I've just got the potato skins just laying directly onto the cast iron, and they didn't stick at all. The potato skins work really well, so they don't burn, and it's not much of a mess for the cleanup. So don't worry about coating your cast iron tins. And after you load them up with the fillings, add in some cheese. And I didn't measure, I just kind of put on as much as looked good to me. I think in total I used about half of this bag. So it might be about 4 ounces or so of shredded cheese, and it just depends how much cheese you like. And I put them in the oven for 425 for about 10 minutes or so. Most of it was already cooked, so I just want to make sure that the cheese got melted. And they look just so beautiful coming out of the oven, and they were very tasty. I think I will definitely make this recipe again. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for coming along on this recipe adventure. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.